what was your philosophy on marketing in the early stages of the company versus tier one funding?
I would think it's all product marketing and no corporate. And I mean, for me to succinctly describe the difference is that a product marketing with still a sales-led organization. So some companies are engineer-led, right? It's a super technical problem, and you barely need salespeople. So we're definitely a sales-led organization. But if you're product marketing focused, then it is what the customers think they know. And I say that with all politeness because they don't know our business, right? So we have to like compare that to all of the goals we have. So I think you're constantly in this mode of just building what people say, or if it's highly competitive, you're matching feature matrix. And that's, everyone's got those cycles where those product releases that do that, but you shouldn't stay there too long. So again, the first 3 years when we were micro-sized, it was that. When we changed from Syncvoice to Communicado after raising a $13 million round, right? It was very purposeful to say, all right, we've figured out the recipe to go to market and everything, this other kind of 60% of your product, if you will, and then put that in a container of corporate messages.
The single most important decision or event that helped Communicado on that?
For us, it was the choice to do the B round. Because it's one thing to brute force customers in and to have a relentless sales team and all these things, and that's great. You always want to get to that kind of discipline, but you want to feel a natural pull. So I was truly feeling the pull, the dynamics, the thesis that we've laid out. People are buying that, right? And then the product matches it, and you've got the business cases. So when you get all that, you're just saying go, right? And on the logic side, I've told people before, I've spoken a few times about raising money, and it's binary. You're bringing VC in or you're not. So if you bring them in, there is no other path. We want to get bought for, our ecosystem, the problem we're solving, the breadth of the customer base, and then revenue, right? So you've got this kind of impact, and if I buy them, then I've got access to 400 channel partners, a 10,000 customer footprint. It's an online platform, and the brand is good, right? So that's kind of what we shoot for. It's binary before venture capital. You're either going to go, if you go there, then you need to be raising bigs.
Right.
With my one little asterisk, which said you can raise $3-4 million and get bought, and everyone wins. Right. After that, it's you're going for the big time.
So you are living the entrepreneur's dream.
You know what? I'll just take it as a compliment and say yes from that definition. It's a good time.
Let's talk a little bit about some nightmares then.
Okay.
Being an entrepreneur certainly comes with sleepless nights.
It does.
And so tell us about what caused some of yours, and maybe some of our listeners and viewers to avoid those same pitfalls.
Problem with the product at this customer, timing for this project moved, or budget. What's going to happen with this account? Just walked out of a presentation and IBM just walked in after us. So you're kind of feel like a fish out of water. And then you balance that with not having done it before, for me personally. Right. So you don't have a weight to give on it. Am I stressing? Is it, am I not supposed to be paying attention to it? So I think those things make it stressful. So I talked about the nightmare side, but I think one thing that pierces all of that is just really good sales engineer, which is hard to find, but when you do, it's pretty golden.
What are your tips for fighting stress?
I think for me, I think I've just had to train myself to be balanced in just the emotional IQ part. So you're in meetings, you're going to hear stuff, people are going to rant, all these things, and usually a well-spoken stream of logic breaks through a lot of that. It's just like, okay, I get it, but we're here to do this, and really just kind of guiding, pull people through a logic that's repeatable. I
have a feeling this isn't the last time we're going to see you at the head of an entrepreneurial company, and I have a feeling that where Communicado is today is just a glimmer of where it's going to be in the future. But if you could leave us with your top 3 pieces of advice.
Number 1 is absolutely, whether you're not a marketer or you're reluctant to bring that in, strategic planning of the business, not pro forma, not anything, just that 3 slides I talked about, or that impact, or what market are you in, or what's the market problem, all those things, you could spend a day, a week in the early stage and it'd be too little. The second one would be about raising money and just this binary problem of, do you want VCs in or don't you? I'm have 100% positive VC experience, and given the size of the things we're going after, there is no other option, frankly. But I think there's a lot of hesitancy to do that, and it's funny. There's thefunded.com. Have you heard about this?
I have
website?
Heard. Yeah.
It's like you have to know someone's brother to get in and log in, but it's entrepreneurs kind of talking about VCs and raising money, and you can just comb through there and see the general disdain for VCs. It's their necessary evil and all these things. But then maybe you're on the first part of the binary equation, but I mean you're not going to. But we all know you are, so you might as well figure it out. You might as well understand their dynamics and what gets them going. If you're going to raise money, then you need to start planning out the whole picture. And some of it's just mathematical. Mm-hmm. I'll raise money here at an estimated range of valuation, but I'm going to have to really use that money and achieve these huge milestones. Right. I think the third one I'll just steal to color comment on the second is this kind of angel versus A-round VC scenario. Right. Besides this kind of early takeout thing, where you've raised $1 million or $4 million and you get taken out early, the angels get crammed down every time. Mm-hmm. So if you get the venture capital in, they'll target 20 to 40% each partner to get in there. But then so these angels keep getting crammed down. So for them to hit something, it needs to be huge. Mm-hmm. It needs to be Google for their started at 40, down to 20, down to 10, down to 2% by the time you're sometimes even in market. So I think if you're going to go angel, to me, I think I would talk to people and say, go A. There's tons of early stage A-round folks. If you think there's 2,000 VCs in North America and they're $200 million funds, and for $2 million, they can try your idea amongst 40 other concurrently, right? I mean, there's tons of that money. Right. So if you're going to dilute 20, 30, 40% for $500,000, I guess maybe the argument is maybe it's 5-10% more, but you can get $4 million.
Right, there are a lot of guys out there pitching stories that shouldn't be the messenger.
I think that's right, and there's plenty of super technical products that only those folks can build. But I think that's why, I think you got to take a real open look that there are no single rainmakers who've done almost anything without partners and other smart people to do different things.
Absolutely.
So, I don't know if there's like a professional pitch man you can hire. I'm sure there is, and it comes off really bad, in a VC thing. But I don't mean to say it has to be this perfectly orated thing, but it has to be a combination of kind of the entrepreneur's excitement and a view of what it is 4 years later. Every time I've raised money, I've said, or even before that, the first slide is, this is Communicado 2010, or this was SyncVoice 2006, or whatever, to give them a taste of it is. Is that real right now? No, but that's what we're getting to, but now that I've got your attention, right? So,
as I mentioned, I know this is just the start of great things for you, and I'm really excited that you took your time out to share with us today. So that's all for today. Until next time, stay charged, and we'll continue to keep you powered up.